Hi, welcome to today's broadcast. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah, and this is Pulse of the Week, the midweek edition with your man, Kofi Asante Mensah. This is NSG News, coming to you all the way from Amahia, here in Accra, Ghana. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm here with my team, ready to serve you the best of information, education, and more or piece of entertainment this evening. Welcome to the program. Today is the 4th day of February 2026. I have a lot for you. Please don't miss it, because I have an editorial on the change or retain or don't change or don't retain. I am talking about the Kotoka International Airport. It's featuring on the show tonight. I also have an eye on the just ended New Patriotic Party presidential primaries, and we'll be doing all the data analysis with the data man, Musa Dankwa, this evening. Thank you once again for joining me. It's Pulse of the Week here on NSG News. Please follow us on our many social media platforms and enjoy our broadcast. All right, so that's it. When I return from this quick breather, we'll go into matters, two big issues for digestion this evening. We have an eye on the New Patriotic Party, the results as that came in, the postmortem of the results or the aftermath of the results, the speeches delivered, and if you like, the reconciliatory process that has begun. And don't also forget that Parliament yesterday reconvened, and we have issues from Parliament or the fallout from Parliament on our table. And like I told you, I have an editorial on the change or don't change or retain or don't retain issue relating to the Kotoka International Airport. So 3 major things for you, canvassing this evening for you. Thank you so much, our team that joined us on Saturday, the 31st day of January, to do the special coverage of the New Patriotic Party presidential primaries. When I return from this break, there's more here on the Pulse. Please stay. Always a pleasure to have you back. Thank you very much. My name is yours truly, Kofi Asante Mensah, and from Jakarta Street here in Amahia in the Republic of Ghana's Accra. This is our broadcast. Many social media handles. Please do follow us, and we'll be happy to read some few comments you'll share with us on our pages. Thank you so much. We'll begin this evening from our lenses on the New Patriotic Party. Let's begin from the New Patriotic Party, because on Saturday they went into that fierce competition between 5 good contenders, and you know them already. Dr. Bawumia emerged as the winner of that very fierce competition between the 5 contestants, and he pulled quite a number of votes, not gargantuan or landslide, I must say, but some 57% was predicted for him, but he garnered some 56.48%. In other words, some 56.5%. And Kennedy Japan, it was predicted for him to get some 28%. Unfortunately for him, he garnered some 23.8%, and it follows in that order. The very big surprise that day was the man, Brian Acheampong, who was predicted for him to garner some 13% by the Global Info Analytics, but surprisingly, he gained some 18.5, expected or predicted to get 13%, but he got 18.5. So Global Info Analytics is quite on our radar this evening. We have results also from various regions, all the 16 regions, to project for you. And the documents that they signed to elect the flag bearer, elect Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and we'll do all the analysis for you here. I want us to see some few videos of or inserts of the minority paying a courtesy call or a visit to the flag bearer elect Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and he the same day yesterday paying some courtesy visits to the former president John Kufuor and also Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And then I'll bring you to Parliament, where the majority leader and minority leader, they are basically at each other's throat. Talking about this Parliament, this KIA issues. So let me take you to Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, who paid a courtesy call on John Agyekum Kufuor, and we're going to share that with you. Okay, let me begin with Parliament. Now, this is the majority leader. The majority leader is welcoming the House from recess, and he has some few words to share about what Afenyomarkin initially said. If you could get me Afenyomarkin first, I'll be so glad. Then I'll come to the majority leader. Let's first listen to what Mr. Afenyomarkin said. Not this very one, the Parliament one. Yes, in the August House. Let's begin from the August House. Yes, Afenyomarkin made some remarks, even termed up the election of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, of which the majority leader, Mama Yariga, responded. This is Afenyomarkin. Listen.
Information we have in excess of 15,000 Ghanaian youths affected by this directive, and they are still at home. The understanding was that we would have to engage you so that you give us time to hear, since you are the only person who can sit or preside on this particular motion. So that, Mr. Speaker, you give your ruling for a committee to be set up to investigate this matter.
As chairman of the business committee, you call this matter to be relisted and scheduled for consideration of the House. This thing has gone on since the inception of the Fourth Republic. Anytime there's a change of government, we have people's appointment being terminated, in many cases unlawfully.
We're ready, except that when one of the parties has gone to court and the matter is in court, and then you say the Parliament should inquire into the same matter. And I said it will prejudice the outcome. And our rules are clear on that.
And at the time that the application was made, his case was pending before the Supreme Court. So to constitute a committee to investigate whilst the matter is pending squarely before the Supreme Court will offend our rules.
Honorable members, please, let's go back and refresh our memories.
The matter of the gold board's $240 million loss, as well as the Bank of Ghana's decision to UG.
Our gold reserves, which stood at 37.1 tons in September 2025, plunged by nearly 50% to mere 18.6 tons by December. In just 3 months, we witnessed the utter evaporation of pride. The ghost that haunts the poor is hunger. When reserves disappear in millions and they vanish, and we are told that they are rather diversifying, the trust of the people dissolves into dust.
39 tons added by Gold Board gives us 3.8 billion United States dollars. Mr. Speaker, so if we lost 214 million United States dollars and gain 3.8 billion United States dollars, please do the mathematics. Please do the mathematics. Why will this House waste its precious time interrogating and investigating such a guy?
So that's quite a good report over there for you. And they were talking about the gold board losses, calling for investigation to be held by the August House, and also the sacking of some government employees as the government of John Dramani Mahama got into formation. The Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, issued a public statement or wrote to some persons within the government sector who were quite employed at the latter part of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government to sack them. And he is calling for an investigation into that, and you learned from there that we understand the issue is in court, it's in the Supreme Court. So if Parliament goes ahead to investigate this, it's going to prejudice the outcome of the Supreme Court. So it has been left like that. I'll be getting in more for you as to what is really bound to happen today. Of course, the issue about the change of names relating to the Kotoka International Airport, and even the legal education bill. Several bills were mentioned that they are billed for, if you like, this very certain Parliament to really go through it and pass or otherwise. And that is the report from Parliament. I'll be going back to Parliament again because there is more that's occasioned yesterday and today. Now I'm getting back to Parliament to learn from the response Mama Ayariga, Honorable Mama Ayariga, the majority leader, gave to the minority leader when he made a definite statement that they have gone through a powerful and quite a resounding, peaceful election, okay? And they have elected Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the leader of their caucus. Not only caucus, but the party, New Patriotic Party, because the leader of the caucus is Honorable Osahene Afenyo-Markins, and he is the leader of the minority caucus. So the majority has some few, if you like, well, where you stand, pleasant or unpleasant words for minority leader Afenyo-Markins. Listen.
That all these years we've had this Kotoka, General Kotoka's name on the airport, and suddenly it is being changed.
Acknowledge the successful election of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. We congratulate him and his party for concluding that internal democratic process. Mr. Speaker, if you observed, my friends on the other side were all in white today to celebrate the victory. I joined them to wear white to celebrate the victory. But the reason why I have worn white to celebrate the victory is because the Bawumia that I know, NDC will beat him any time in the day. I say I am wearing white to join the MPP in the chamber to celebrate because the Bawumia that I know, NDC can beat him any day. Right, Honorable Speaker, Ghanaians do not forget. Ghanaians do not forget. This is not a new beginning. It is a repackaging of the same administration, the same economic ideas, and the same record that pushed this nation to the edge. You cannot rewrite recent history, and you cannot rebrand responsibility away. Ghanaians will judge not by new faces or fine words, but by lived experience, credibility, and results. And they lived the experience of Bawumia as a vice president, the credibility of MPP under Bawumia, and the results of the Bawumia economic management. Right, Honorable Speaker, the foundations of recovery have been laid. The responsibility before us now is to consolidate these gains and accelerate Ghana's journey towards sustainable growth and shared prosperity. We will be considering the following sector-related legislation. We will continue with the Ghana Cocoa Board Amendment Bill, the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority Bill, the Ghana Deposit Protection Amendment Bill will all be taken. Mr. Speaker, the Exemptions Amendment Bill will also be taken. There will be an Income Tax Amendment Bill. Then there will be Extractive Industries Fiscal Reforms Bill. We will have a rent bill coming from the Minister of Works Knowledge. The successful election of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. We congratulate him and his party for concluding that internal democratic process. Mr. Speaker, if you observed, my friends on the other side were all in white today to celebrate the victory. I joined them to wear white to celebrate the victory. But the reason why I have worn white to celebrate the victory is because the Bawumia that I know, NDC will beat him any time in the day. I'm wearing white to join the MPP in the chamber to celebrate because the Bawumia that I know, NDC can beat him any day. Right, Honourable Speaker, Ghanaians do not forget. Ghanaians do not forget. This is not a new beginning. It is a repackaging of the same administration, the same economic ideas, and the same record that pushed this nation to the edge. You cannot rewrite recent history, and you cannot rebrand responsibility away. Ghanaians will judge not by new faces or fine words, but by lived experience, credibility, and results. And they lived the experience of a Bawumia as a vice president, the credibility of MPP under Bawumia, and the results of the Bawumia economic management. Right, Honourable Speaker, the foundations of recovery have been laid. The responsibility before us now is to consolidate these gains and accelerate Ghana's journey towards sustainable growth and shared prosperity. We will be considering the following sector-related legislation. We will continue with the Ghana Cocoa Board Amendment Bill, the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority Bill, the Ghana Deposit Protection Amendment Bill, will all be taken. Mr. Speaker, the Exemptions Amendment Bill will also be taken. There will be an Income Tax Amendment Bill. Then there will be Extractive Industries Fiscal Reforms Bill. We will have a rent bill coming from the Minister of Works Knowledge. The successful election of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. We congratulate him and his party for concluding that internal democratic process. Mr. Speaker, if you observed, my friends on the other side were all in white today to celebrate the victory. I joined them to wear white to celebrate the victory. But the reason why I have worn white to celebrate the victory is because the Bawumia that I know, NDC will beat him any time in the day. I'm wearing white to join the MPP in the chamber to celebrate because the Bawumia that I know, NDC can beat him any day. Right, Honourable Speaker, Ghanaians do not forget. Ghanaians do not forget. This is not a new beginning. It is a repackaging of the same administration, the same economic ideas, and the same record that pushed this nation to the edge. You cannot rewrite recent history, and you cannot rebrand responsibility away. Ghanaians will judge not by new faces or fine words, but by lived experience, credibility, and results. And they lived the experience of a Bawumia as a vice president, the credibility of MPP under Bawumia, and the results of the Bawumia economic management. Right, Honourable Speaker, the foundations of recovery have been laid. The responsibility before us now is to consolidate these gains and accelerate Ghana's journey towards sustainable growth and shared prosperity. We will be considering the following sector-related legislation. We will continue with the Ghana Cocoa Board Amendment Bill, the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority Bill, the Ghana Deposit Protection Amendment Bill, will all be taken. Mr. Speaker, the Exemptions Amendment Bill will also be taken. There will be an Income Tax Amendment Bill. Then there will be Extractive Industries Fiscal Reforms Bill. We will have a rent bill coming from the Minister of Works Knowledge. A successful election.
Welcome to the broadcast. It's yours truly, Kofi Asante Mensah, on Pulse of the Week, the midweek edition on the 4th of February, 2026. Welcome to the program. Coming to you live from our Mahia studios here in Adenta, Accra, the Republic of Ghana, the capital of the Republic of Ghana. Welcome. And wherever you are watching us from, we are glad you've joined us. Welcome. This is our national studios. Please go ahead to our many social media platforms and send us messages, and we'll be glad to share with the rest of the world. And there you have it, social media handles on your screen right now. This evening, when I return from the break, I will give you details of what transpired in Parliament as Parliament reconvenes. A lot of issues from Parliament, fallout from Parliament as Parliament reconvenes, is a subject for our discussion this very evening. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this evening we would also take a good look. Our lens will be on the New Patriotic Party, because on Saturday we're here to give you a live feed and live broadcast of the New Patriotic Party's presidential elections, where Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, with some 56.48%, won that very primaries. I am here to share with you some details. Also, I must say, also, the data man, Musa Dankwa, is my special guest for today's broadcast, because he predicted rightly and got it so much right. And he will be here to do all the regional analysis and the national analysis for you. We'll look at his predictions and compare it with the actuals, and we'll do the analysis for you with them. With a data man. His name is Musa Dankwa. He's the Executive Director for Global Info Analytics. And we'll further on do some editorial where we would ask, should we change or should we not change? Should we retain or should we not retain? Or should we reset or should we not reset? I'm talking about the change of name or the retention of the name Kotoka International Airport, because there is a bill that is being prepared by the Transport Ministry, and Mr. Likpe, the Honorable Likpe, is leading it, and Mama Yarega, the majority leader, gave a sneak peek into it yesterday when Parliament reconvened, and they held a press conference with the media, the leadership press conference, and he gave us a sneak peek into that. I will also get into Parliament with you, especially today, Wednesday, what has been transpiring. And my name is Kofi Asante Mensah. This is Pulse of the Week on your favorite future of Ghanaian journalism, and I mean digital journalism, the news with integrity. This is NSG News. When I return from this breather, there is more. Please stay. Always a pleasure to have you back. Thank you very much. And I want to begin from Parliament. When I finish the parliamentary business, would look into what happened on last Saturday, where the New Patriotic Party went into the presidential primaries or an election, and saw Bawumia as the flag bearer of this the noble party, New Patriotic Party, the opposition New Patriotic Party. But let's begin from Parliament. Yesterday, Parliament reconvened from break, and they are back. And this is how they have been debating on the floor of Parliament. The issues that has to do with Gold Board, the issues that has to do with the sacking of government employees, and the issues that has to do with Bawumia being elected as flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, among others, including the legal education bill and a couple of other bills. The majority leader would outline them. But let me start with Afenyo Markin. This is a brief report. Let me start with Afenyo Markin leading that very discussion in the August hours.
Information we had, we have in excess of 15,000 Ghanaian youths affected by this directive, and they are still at home. The understanding was that we would have to engage you so that you give us time to hear, since you are the only person who can sit or preside on this particular motion. So that, Mr. Speaker, you give your ruling for a committee to be set up to investigate this matter.
As chairman of the business committee, you call this matter to be relisted and scheduled for consideration of the House. This thing has gone on since the inception of the Fourth Republic. anytime there's a change of government, we have people's appointments being terminated, in many cases unlawfully.
We're ready, except that when one of the parties has gone to court and the matter is in court, and then you say the parliament should inquire into the same matter. And I said it will prejudice the outcome. And our rules are clear on that.
And at the time that the application was made, his case was pending before the Supreme Court.
All right, so those are bits of what happened in Parliament as Parliament reconvened. I'm getting back to the August House one more time because the majority leader responded to the minority leader who claimed Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been elected as flag bearer, and the NDC, the governor NDC should get ready. This is his response.
Of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. We congratulate him and his party for concluding that internal democratic process. Mr. Speaker, if you observed, my friends on the other side were all in white today to celebrate the victory. I joined them to wear white to celebrate the victory. But the reason why I have worn white to celebrate the victory is because the Bawumia that I know, NDC will beat him any time in the day. I say I am wearing white to join the MPP in the chamber to celebrate because the Bawumia that I know, NDC can beat him any day. Right, Honourable Speaker, Ghanaians do not forget. Ghanaians do not forget. This is not a new beginning. It is a repackaging of the same administration, the same economic ideas, and the same record that pushed this nation to the edge. You cannot rewrite recent history, and you cannot rebrand responsibility away. Ghanaians will judge not by new faces or fine words, but by lived experience, credibility, and results. And they lived the experience of a Bawumia as a vice president, the credibility of MPP and the Bawumia, and the results of the Bawumia economic management. Right, Honourable Speaker, the foundations of recovery have been laid. The responsibility before us now is to consolidate these gains and accelerate Ghana's journey towards sustainable growth and shared prosperity. We will be considering the following sector-related legislation. We will continue with the Ghana Cocoa Board Amendment Bill, the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority Bill, the Ghana Deposit Protection Amendment Bill will all be taken. Mr. Speaker, the Exemptions Amendment Bill will also be taken. There will be an Income Tax Amendment Bill. Then there will be Extractive Industries Fiscal Reforms Bill. We will have a rent bill coming from the Minister of Work Knowledge.
All right, so that's the majority leader responding to the Honorable Minority Leader Afenyo Markins, or Sahine, Honorable Alexander Afenyo Markins. And I can see Mr. Musa Dankwa, as I mentioned to you, I have an exclusive interview with him. He's a data man, executive director for Global Info Analytics. He's joined us on Zoom right now. But before I get to Mr. Musa Dankwa, I want to play you just a quick 2 videos. Then we'll get into it with Mr. Musa Dankwa. And then we'll do analysis, pair the results that came. We'll do a quick postmortem on it and look at other issues. A very quick one. This is the majority leader, Mama Ayariga, yesterday indicating to the whole world that when you come to Ghana very soon, you will not find the name Kotoka International Airport over there. We'll change it. We'll change it to Accra International Airport. Watch it.
He will bring those regulations. The Minister for so the Minister for Transport will bring Maritime and Related Offences Bill, road traffic regulations to deal with the Okada legalization and the discipline that is needed on the road by Okada riders and tricycle riders. And then the Ghana Shippers Council regulations. And we are changing the name of our airport from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. So a bill will be brought by the Minister for Transport for the name of the airport to be changed from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. So the Accra International Airport bill will also come, and then they will ask us to approve some international bilateral meeting. He will bring those regulations. The Minister for so the Minister for Transport will bring Maritime and Related Offences Bill, road traffic regulations to deal with the Okada legalization and the discipline that is needed on the road by Okada riders and tricycle riders. Then the Ghana Shippers Council regulations. And we are changing the name of our airport from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. So a bill will be brought by the Minister for Transport for the name of the airport to be changed from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. So the Accra International Airport bill will also come, and then
all right, thank you very much. And let's go to our Zoom right now. We have our man, Musa Danko, Mr. Musa Danko, our Executive Director for Global Info Analytics, join us right now. And we want to do the MPP, the 31st of January, 2026, MPP Presidential Primaries Analysis. You reckon we've been on this, he's been with us on this platform for a number of times since last year, okay? And on I think on Wednesday, we engaged Mr. Musa Dankwa, and I think even on Friday, he made some few predictions by way of his polls to us. And I must say, his polls came to pass. So it's been prophecy and science, and now science won the day. Let me go to Mr. Musa Dankwa. It's a Wednesday evening. Mr. Musa Dankwa, good evening to you.
Good evening.
I hope you're doing well.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we want to begin this evening by asking you how you did that magic for us to get all the predictions right. I think in exception of two, where I have put in here, Bawumia predicted to have 57. He got 56.5 or 48 or something like that. Kennedy 28. Kennedy won. I've heard you say on some media platforms that it's because of his outburst or his latter outburst and statements he made. Brian projected to have some 13, and actually he got 18.5%, and Dr. Duchum projected to have 2%, but basically he had 1%. 0% for Kwabena Ejepon, and he got some 0.2%. For me, I think it's between the Kennedy one and the Brian one. I would say, but for three of these candidates, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Duchum, and Kwabena Ejepon, I would say you were really within your margins. Of course, the margin of error and all of that. Please take us through. On Saturday, you observed the process, and having gone through all of this counting and all of that, and knowing what you were standing by and it coming through, how was the feeling like?
Right, thank you very much. It's a normal feeling. I mean, this is not the first time we've done this. I remember we did the 2024 elections. And that was the same feeling. Look, I don't celebrate extremely or jubilate that my figures have panned out, but you always feel that you've been vindicated by science, and that if you have done your work thoroughly, scientifically, the right methodology and approach, you should be getting closer to what would happen on election day. So for us, it's a proof that science works, and that if you follow a strict methodology and you're consistent with your approach in the field, it will pay off.
After the polls, has anyone gotten back to you relating to this science work you did?
Yeah, of course, several people from the MPP stock, in fact, reaching out to us. Some important personalities in the party, some eating humble pie, and some who already knew were doing a very good job. Gave us pat in the back that we should continue to do the right thing. And I have given them my word that we are very independent, and I will continue to do our work independently of any political party.
I have to apologize to you. It was from my studio here. I didn't hear your initial comment, so I would plead with you.
I said I have had several calls from key members within the party and some individuals from MPP who have called to congratulate us. Some have called to apologize to us, and then have told us to keep doing the right thing. So for us, it's a confirmation that we were doing the right thing. Some knew that we were doing the right thing, but of course they couldn't speak in public. And even now, they couldn't speak in public, they are called us privately. So we know that our work has been appreciated, even though they didn't win, especially those from Kent's side.
The NPP is now appreciating your work so much, because I reckon when they were calling you and tagging you an NDC poster, etc., now they call you to appreciate your work?
No, you see, you have to prove yourself in this country. And I don't blame them for behaving the way they have been over the years, because in the past, maybe the people they have dealt with were probably corrupt, if I should put it bluntly like that. So they felt that if the guys were dealing with last time were like that, how can this guy be different from them? So I was kind of paying the price of those who have come before us.
That's also obvious. Now let's get into the numbers. And the other two I mentioned to you that probably I won't say you got it wrong, but it's for Kennedy, you indicated it's because of his outburst, because you projected 28 and he got 23. Why is that?
Look, I mean, when we did the last poll, which was 23rd January, that was about 8 clear days before the election itself. And when we released the poll, we said that we have seen ample evidence that Kennedy is collapsing in the polls because of the outburst and the insult he rained on the vice president. And then as at the time we were finalizing the poll, even though Brian was 6%, we took him to 13% on the basis of how he was performing in the last 4 days. But clearly, we were not there the last 8 days to see what was happening. We would have figured out what was happening, but we weren't there, we were in polling. So what really happened was that Kennedy collapsed and his numbers went to Brian. And indeed, we mentioned that while we can put our neck down on Bahumia's numbers, we couldn't do so for Kennedy and Brian because their numbers were fluid and they were changing day by day. And I don't know where the bottom would be by the election time. So we gave that warning in advance before we got to where we got to.
That's so obvious. It's so clear. And what do you think worked for Brian Acheampong? I really want to find out from you. You projected 13, he got 18.5. He was actually heading for a 19% mark and all of that. Some say because he was resourceful. You indicated he was pulling vote from a little from Bawumia, a little from Kennedy Acheampong. What worked for Brian Acheampong?
Look, let's take what he got from Bawumia. There were people who didn't like Bawumia because he didn't think he could win the election for them. And for that matter, they couldn't vote for him again. So if you look at the results that came, about 4% of Bawumia voters went to Brian. Now, let's come to Kennedy. Kennedy is seen as very resourceful. He has money. Brian too has money. Kennedy is seen as a grassroots person. Brian too is seen as a grassroots person. Kennedy is seen as a bit of fighter. Brian too is seen as a bit of fighter, but more refined fighter. And Kennedy is much older. Brian is much younger. So those who were looking for future of MPP and couldn't think that Kennedy would fit the bill, they were actually voting for Brian Acheampong. In fact, I've spoken to one delegate just about an hour ago who told me that he had campaigned for Bawumia, but he told his colleagues that he was going to vote for Brian because he wants Brian to get a vote that would be so appreciated that in the next MPP primaries, he thinks Brian would be a very significant person to watch. So they had their own reasons of voting for Brian. And also on election day, really, a lot of the Brian resources was probably done on election day. So those who had waited for people and they haven't seen them, when Brian came and he gave them what they needed, they give the vote to him because he's still young. He's also young, so it's not like you are just wasting your vote. You are voting for somebody that you think could be the future for MPP. So they had their own reasons, but I think Kennedy did much of the damage to himself than anybody else did.
Would you not blame the handlers of Kennedy Acheampong, because you projected correctly that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia would win 14 regions. Of course, he did. I was surprised to observe that Dr. Brian Acheampong has won the Volta region, where initially the Global Info Analytics polls suggest that Ken would win the Volta and the Central regions.
Yeah, let's start with Central region. You saw that Brian got about 15% of Central region votes. So even Central region, where Ken comes from, he didn't buy his philosophy and ideas this time around. That vote went to Brian. And then you go to Volta region, where out of nowhere, Brian came from behind to take the lead or to win that Volta region. And indeed, I'm told that he has some connection with Volta region. He speaks the language very fluently. So when people were abandoning Ken, they found home in Brian, and they went there massively. And again, among those who were not disclosing at the point in time in Volta region, I believe were now, with hindsight, they were Brian supporters. So Brian win, though surprising. There were a bit of evidence in the data that should have given us the clue, but we didn't see early. And also, you know, certainly Ken's utterances really didn't help him.
Would the latter outburst of Ken Acheampong, if he had not gone out of normal, if you like, to call Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in a televised broadcast or in a video clip, liar and all of that, do you think if he had not gone ahead or his handlers handled him without making such pronouncement, do you think he would have gotten the projections or the predictions you pulled, or he would have gone?
Yes, I believe so. I believe so. If he hadn't done that, he would have gone 28%.
Now, Dr. Aduchum, you predicted or pulled that he would get 2. Amazingly, or surprisingly, I don't know what the words to use, but he got 1.
You know, those are the peripheral end of the race, really, when it comes to elections. Their numbers don't really change anything. So the focus is on the top 3. And in terms of order, in fact, it didn't change in terms of order. Just that he underperformed the expectations because those who were breaking away from Brian, from Kennedy, actually went to Brian. So he didn't benefit from the spillover because he doesn't really share a lot in common, things in common with Kennedy. So they were not trading voters.
All right. Now, I won't spend any time on Kwabena Acheampong because, like you mentioned, probably they shouldn't have even gone into the race at all. And of course, he made mention in an interview that he doesn't have any money to spend because he knows people are spending. People are spending power. Me in Jeskabia, I won't spend him. Of course, maybe he knew he wasn't going to be victorious. That's why.
You know, Kennedy Acheampong is very principled person. He doesn't believe in using money in buying vote. I think that has defined him. And for that matter, he didn't see the need to do so more so when the polls were saying that he wasn't going to win. So he had to be ethical in that sense. And he showed us that you can run an election without money, but it won't end well.
That's very true. Now, let me take you to, after all of this is said and done, we know Bawumia got elected. What do you make of the speeches they made? Please, you paid attention to each of them, the 5 of them, each statement they made one after the. Ken was the first person. After the results came out, people were quick to concede. Ken also conceded. He indicated, don't say no Ken, no vote, etc. All those things conceptualize at place. And take me to the speeches they made individually at the MPP headquarters and tell me if you are sure that reconciliation or coming together to unite for the bigger battle in 2028, all these 5 people with their supporters will be ready to do this.
This is something I cannot prophesize. Events would unfold down the line, but the speeches were encouraging. Kennedy one was okay, but he added but you have to give our respect, that kind of thing. I hope the respect that they want, they are giving that respect in Bawumia's camp. I believe with the results that we have seen, people have been cut to size, and that the audacity and the aura they have around them last time, they won't be there anymore this time around. So they will be compelled to really reconcile and forge for the party going forward.
The Memao showdown, bravado.
Yeah, I mean, this time there was no showdown. Somebody said there was show up.
there was what?
Show up.
Show up.
Yes.
So
I think that the result is very resounding. The margin was much wider in terms of the gap between Bawumia and Kennedy than the last time. The last time the margin was 23%. This time it is 33%. So you can see that Kennedy is quiet. And I hope that they all realize where they are in the race and then give their support to the party for the party to move forward.
Well, one thing I forgot to ask you when we're doing the number analysis, please permit me, is comparing what Bawumia garnered in 2023 to what he got 2026. And people have started putting some indications to it. And I've seen the post of, what's his name? This NDC gentleman, I've forgotten his name. He's saying if you got 61 point whatever percent in 2023 and you got this result in the 2024 election, of course, put the numbers to it, and then you have gotten 57. Then 2028, of course, we are going to defeat you. What do you make of the previous results of the 2023 results as compared to the 2026 results?
You know, when you compare 2023, Bawumia got 61%. It's now down 4%, roughly. Now, no 2 elections are the same. Never think that, oh, last time I got this, so this time I will get this. No, everything starts from 0. And if you see what has happened, on the face of it, Bawumia lost 4%. But if you dig deeper, his margin of winning has gone up from 23%, as I mentioned earlier, to 33%. So in terms of margin, it is quite wide. And it is the margin that we care about so much in statistics rather than the absolute numbers in terms of what he was last time. And remember, in the last election, there was no candidate that was stronger beyond Kennedy. Adai Nimo and Afriya Kotu were not putting up any numbers. But you have a candidate that is doing a lot in the numbers, has a lot of resources. So definitely he underpinned or he unpenned the race. And I heard one Bawumia campaign aide saying that this time it was really costly for them, but also very tired because you have to deal with Kennedy at the home, once he's done his campaign somewhere, you have to go and try and sort this out. And as you are finished doing that and you're going, Brian goes there and you have to go back again. So the dynamics were quite different. So we shouldn't be comparing it like that. I mean, 2023, 2026, there were two different elections. But I think overall, I would say Bawumia did well.
That's excellent. Now, let's get back. So you are confident that per the speeches made at the NPP national head office or their head office, you are assured of unity and, if you like, reconciliation for the 2028 election?
Look, on the face of it, yes. Indeed, the data shows that among the delegates, 88% of them believe that there will be unity at the end of elections. Only 6% were saying that they're not hopeful that there will be unity. 6%. So it's not that bad. The disunity is going to be at the very top between the campaign team, the senior aide and senior advisors. I mean, if disunity is up open there in public, then it could have a bit of ripple effect within the party. But I do believe, I mean, from what we've heard so far, there hasn't been any attempt to splinter away, and I believe MPP will stay together.
That's good. And we are learning also that the flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has paid some good visits to former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and John Agyekum Kufuor. There are many who say he should be able to detach himself from the legacy of Nana Addo because he was basically punished by Nana Addo's performance or legacy in the 2024 elections. He should detach himself. Right after your election, of course, Nana Addo was there, and you go back to Nana Addo, you go back to Kufuor and all these people. Why won't he pay attention to the four people who contested him and try to rally them together, have them with him, as he even pays some few courtesy calls on people like that. So people are not happy with it. What do you make of this?
Look, this is more of a symbolic gesture of going to the elders to say, I won my race. I just want to come and inform you that I have won the race. Even though they are aware that he has won. But in our culture, you know, it is something that we do. So I don't see anything wrong with that. But I don't expect him to make Nana Addo any part of this campaign going forward. That is where the issue would be really hurting him. Already, it's difficult for you to detach yourself from the records because he was part of the record, and for him to be going back to him, this is just for a gesture. But beyond this, I don't think Nana Addo will be involved in anything Bawumia campaign going forward.
Okay, so if it is a one-time event, like you mentioned in our culture, you go and pay homage and introduce yourself. That's fine. But if you should continue, you think it will worry him?
He should not be seen doing anything with regard to his election with Nana Addo.
Why?
The records, look, if you look at the last election, in fact, even before the last election, I was thinking that they would make Nana Addo take a back seat. But they obviously, maybe, I don't know what discussions they had, but it would have been better if Nana Addo had taken a back seat from the campaign. Maybe only come in when his region or his stronghold is visited. But, you know, politics is not as simple as that. Some of us can make this comment freely, but when you are inside there, you can't.
Let me leave you. Just two things, then we are done, Mr. Musa Dankwa. Of course, the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, the ruling NDC, I'm sure you have done some few things. So now that we have the NPP presidential primaries rolled out on the way, even before they would go on Saturday, on Friday, Fifi Fiavikwete organized a press conference at the national headquarters of the NDC, indicated if you want to run for any national position, resign in some 6 months, in some 3 months, in some 2 months, etc. How far with the NDC relating to what is really happening, especially with their presidential or presidential primaries? Are we still? Do you find some people still lacing their boots for it?
You know, I mean, obviously, Asiedu Nketia is, in the country, going around doing thank you talk. Thank you, to be very honest, is campaigning in disguise. He's the only one who can do that. The chairman of the party. He's gone there as a party chairman, thanking people for 2024 election results. That's how he's justified it. But from what we have seen on social media and the kind of media engagement and the handles of Asiedu Nketia, it's very clear that the guy is listing himself to run the election, to contest the election. Or for the other candidates that are in the race, top 4 per last poll, Jane Opoku, no sign that she's going to run in the upcoming election. Haruna Iddrisu, no sign, even though you are seeing people promoting him here and there. But him on his own doing anything significant, there's no sign of that. Atuforcing the same thing, focus on his job, no sign he's doing anything. Only Asiedu Nketia is very obvious to everybody that something is going on. But let's wait and see. I mean, the polling numbers will be very fascinating next month or April. Because once Bawumia has been...
There was some sign with Julius Deborah. How about Julius Deborah?
No, he's gone quiet of late. I don't know whether the figures that he's seen over the past few months has humbled him. Sometimes it's good to have this early data so you can assess the viability of your candidature and whether it's worth investing money in it. So what we have done is to help them out to really see what the public think. And if you think that, look, this level of support is not good enough, then you must as well keep your money in your pocket and don't spend it. Some will tell you that, oh, you are strong on the ground, you are on the ground, who grounds. Now you go there and spend money, and then you realize that you have no base. So for those who will see the numbers clearly and act accordingly, I mean, good luck, all the best, but that is what this polling is supposed to do. But those who will pursue their interests, that time will come and will also be there. But what I expect to happen is that once MPP has settled on their choice, the focus will now be on the NDC, whether they like it or not. Among the public will now have a serious engagement, conversation as to who among those they believe might go deserve to lead Ghana, NDC and Ghana. So it will be interesting. I expect the numbers to start moving rapidly or significantly now that Bawumia is known. So one unknown variable has been resolved, we know that. The other now is still variables. But they would know when they are making decisions as to who to vote for, whether it is Bawumia versus Atuforsin, or Bawumia versus Haruna, or Bawumia versus Asiedu Nketia. Those will be out in the April, and we'll begin to have a feel of where the country wants to go from April 2026 onwards.
Let me put you a little bit on the spot, because I've read some of your posts that says the NDC will bring an account person. I don't know if you reckon that.
Yes. So, no, I don't say things without data.
Right.
I never utter words from my mouth without data.
So who is this if you look at the person?
Sorry?
Who is this account person?
No, in the race we have 3 accounts.
Okay.
We have Atuforsin as an account candidate. We have Asiedu Nketia coming from as an account candidate, and Jenana as an account candidate. Jenana is 3rd or 4th in the race. This stands 4th. So when you look at the data, it's Atuforsin and Asiedu Nketia who are doing good numbers. Then you have Haruna Iddrisu. Now, the reason why we are saying that NDC will be led by an account is that, look, let's face it, in a group that you have 3 or 4 blocks in it, if you allow one person to go and that person ends his term, that group will look for somebody else to lead. It is natural. It is what we do, because the cake must go around everywhere. Now, Haruna Iddrisu is from the northern part of the country. Mahama is from northern part of the country. They are seen as northerners together. And it will be, I don't know how NDC is going to go and say, okay, let's allow another northern candidate to lead us again after Mahama from 2012 to now. So reasonably, let's be objective. The other group said, no, let's let the baton go round. Now, if you look at the polling data, nearly 70% of the Akan voters are voting for the Akan candidate. Around 70% of the Ga Adangbe voters are voting for the Akan candidate. About 68% of the Ewe voters are voting for the Akan candidate. And 43% of the Molly Dagbani groups are voting for the Akan candidate. So it is mathematically obvious that they want to rally behind an Akan candidate. As whether that Akan will be at force, no, I said in Ketia, only time will tell.
It looks like a prophecy. You know, this gentleman was on, I've forgotten his name. Why do I keep forgetting today? He's a prophet. He said, Musa Dankwa stole my data and he used it. I don't know if you have, your attention has been drawn to that.
I haven't heard that.
He's the man who predicted a win for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I think Obi interviewed him quite recently, but it was within the last week when they were preparing, and he indicated on that station that.
Is it YOC?
Please say that. Walasi. Yes. Oh. He said Musa Dankwa took my.
Well, tell him if I take his numbers, I will give him credit.
That's right. I'll tell him. But it's so obvious. Okay, 70% of Gan people are voting for the Akan. 68% of Ewe people are voting for the Akan. Molly Dagbani, 48%.
43.
Voting for the Akan.
43%.
43, not 8. Okay, 43. Okay, but okay. So obviously, an Akan would be coming, and we'll be looking.
It is the data. It is the data.
Right. So, okay, I will shelve some of these questions because if I want to get into this NDC thing, my concern so much was why some of them are so quiet, or they are working submarine. They are doing submarine politics. They are doing underground, like Ato Forsen. Haruna, for example. He came out to even project Gina Opoku-Agyeman, the vice president professor, as a good candidate for 2028 and all of that. So I don't know. It's only a Siedo Kesia you can visibly. Even Julius Debra has gone aback, and I've been wondering.
Look,
you been wondering too?
I believe that the one who will lead NDC into the future, that person will lead because he can prove his performance. Because anybody who wants to lead NDC must prove that he has performed in his role. And then also that person must be seen to have served the government well. These two are critical. So if you are not serving the government very well, you're not performing as a minister or whatever person that you are, it will be difficult to ride on the back of John Mahama's record to lead NDC. That is a prophecy.
Wow. Then you are prophet Musa Dankwa. Then of course Siedo Ketia is out because he's not in any governmental position, just some board to be.
Yeah, so he has the time, he can go around and do. None of these guys can leave their positions to go around and say thank you.
Oh, okay. You are very right. My last one on the NDC or this politics would be, it's a done deal for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in 2028, more because this is the second time his face is coming on the ballot as somebody contesting. Of course, John Mahama is not going again, so anyone who is contesting in 2028 is going to have a fresh beginning, new starter, a fresh starter, first timer, etc. Is it a done deal for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia 2028? Should the NPP go back to sleep and probably by 2029, January 7, rejoice?
Look, NPP is aware that 2028 will be very, very tough for them, especially if it becomes an economy election. And an economy election simply means that if the economy is different from what they left it at, again, just like 2028, and Ghanaians vote with the economy and nothing else. So they will compare the two economies and make decisions. Absolutely. If the economy, people feel good about the economy, it will be very, very tough for MP. Very, very tough. Now, as to how they can fight that battle when it comes, I don't know. I'm not a strategist for any of the political parties, so I don't want to wade myself into that kind of controversy.
Right.
But it will be an economy question, an economy election. And whoever is deemed to have performed better on the economy would win.
That's very good. Let me take you finally, so you can have a good evening on a Wednesday evening like this one. You are a pollster. But first you're a Ghanaian. You know, Parliament reconvened yesterday. There is this debate about rename or don't rename. What's your position on this Kotoka International Airport rename to Accra International Airport, etc.?
Look, if we believe that coup makers should not be glorified, then every coup is a coup. It's the very reason why, at a point in time, the government cancelled 31st December celebrations as holiday, right? They didn't want to glorify any coup maker. So why should we glorify Kotoka who overthrew Kwame Nkrumah?
That's very deep.
It's a coup. Whether it's Rawlings coup or Kotoka coup, they overthrew democratically elected government. And we should not be glorifying any of them.
On that note, I want to say a very big thank you to you. Thank you so much for being there for us. Always when we call upon you, you have the patience and the time for us. Mr. Musa Dankwa, thank you.
My pleasure.
All right, so viewers, that's Mr. Musa Dankwa, Executive Director for Global Info Analytics, joining us on today's edition of Pulse of the Week, the midweek edition. Going for a quick breather. When I return, I have an editorial to share with you. Please stay with me. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah. I'll be back shortly. Hi there. What number is this? 3, right? All right. It's time for NSG News. Welcome. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah. And here at NSG News, you'll get serious documentary to watch, news, reviews, views, and what have you. Because we have Pulse of the Week and also exclusive on the hot seat. On NSG News, we say news with integrity.
You know, if you look at the last election, some were in complete shock
of the results.
Yes. While we were telling them 6 months before that
yes. So you are a traitor or what? I don't know.
The last person who will be a traitor in this country will be me. I'm very patriotic.
It is alleged that NDC is sponsoring you to do their dirty work. Let me put it that way. That's my word, dirty work, to discredit the advances of the MPP. You've been drawn into partisan politics. How do you come out of this one?
One, I have not been contracted, required to do anything for NDC against any entity in this country. Absolutely not. I don't belong to the NDC. I don't belong to the MPP. I don't have political party affiliation with any other party. No. Now look, where we are in Hacho now. I remember when I was going to write the O-levels, I didn't have money to pay for the fees. So I had to carry labor, do by day labor. Here. We're one of those who started building houses in this area as a laborer. You have to even go and carry the cement from afar because there were no buildings to store them in. This would be the shock. We were branded as mad people. With the numbers we were banding around, was in excess of a 2-point-something million gap. We have to realize that the country, Ghana, has changed profoundly, even from 2016 levels.
I think it wasn't Ghana government funded.
No, it wasn't Ghana government funded. No, on your own you struggle, and then you go to Denmark. I remember when I arrived in Frankfurt on my way to Denmark, I had only $500 in my pocket, and that was to pay for your accommodation, pay for your feeding, pay for everything.
Always a pleasure to have you back. Thank you very much. This is NSG's Pulse of the Week with your man, Kofi Asante Mensah. And this our social media handles. Please do follow us and share comments with us. And we'll be so intrigued to read them to the rest of the world. Please leave some comments. Watching us live on YouTube right now, please go ahead and leave some comments. And welcome to our broadcast. Once again, it's Kofi Asante Mensah. And this is my editorial on why Kotoka must give way to Accra. And this is on the debate on the renaming or reinstating or changing of name Kotoka International Airport to the Accra International Airport. You know, basically, the name came to being when Lieutenant Colonel Kwesi Emmanuel Kwesi Kotoka was murdered in cold blood closer to the airport. And that's why people found wisdom in it to put his name to that national monument. And if you reckon, on 24th of February 1966, and in just 20 days, today is 4th, I said on the 24th of February, so in just 20 days it will be 60 years since this man, Kotoka, overthrew Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So the timing is right. This very discussion, this editorial is just right. Okay? So, he was part of the coup protest. He made the announcement, Kotoka, Lieutenant Colonel Emmanuel Kwesi Kotoka. He made the announcement. And one key thing I can never forget is when a ruler is useless, you depose him. And therefore, we depose Kwame Nkrumah. If a leader is useless. So he, Lieutenant Colonel Emmanuel Kwesi Kotoka, Major Akwesi Amankwa Efrifa, and Police IGP J.W.K. Halley, Lieutenant General retired J.A. Ankara, and they were backed by the CIA, and they came into power after the overthrow of Sergeant Dr. Kwame Nkrumah to institute the NLC, the National Liberation Council, NLC. And there you have them. These two people, basically, there were three. This is when they were being, by a tribunal, they were being sentenced to death. And that's the picture on your screen. That tribunal. That abortive coup called Operation Guitar Boy. Okay? So Lieutenant Samuel Atta with the Ghana Armed Force and Lieutenant Moses Yeboah. This man, Moses Yeboah, who is with the 2nd Reconnaissance Regiment in Ho, he shot Lieutenant Colonel Emmanuel Kwesi Ankara at the place closer to the airport where we have the Kotoka International Airport. He shot this man. He shot Kotoka. He shot him. And I have read several books. I wasn't there. I wasn't born. I've read several books indicating that Kotoka was shot several times and the bullet couldn't enter. He has been shot several times. But when he was installed as a chief in his village, Kita area, and he came back. You know, this man, he was with the 2nd Reconnaissance Regiment in the Volta region. So I don't know where he also passed, and he was able to penetrate bullet into the skin of Kotoka and killed him. So he was named after he being killed. So basically, the old name was Accra International Airport. Kwame Nkrumah gave that name. And I must say, he had wanted to give the name or name the edifice or the national monument of Ghana's entry to a woman. Her name is Yaa Asantewaa. Okay? But Asante Sem, so many things disrupted that suggested name by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, search for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So it was left and he picked Accra International Airport. Family. So when Kotoka, by way of this abortive coup, was killed, why was it necessary to overthrow Nkrumah? People indicated the Detention Act, the Preventive Detention Act, and a couple of other things. He made Ghana a one-party state. He wanted to rule till eternity. Nkrumah could do everything. One thing he can't do is to turn a man to a woman to man. That's the only thing Nkrumah couldn't do. And so many people were angry that Nkrumah lifted some personnel of the UP, kept them into bars, and some women the rest, and they died from there. People were peeved. People say the economy wasn't good. Others hold the argument that the CIA and the Westerners were not happy with Nkrumah's socialist ideologies. He wanted to unite the whole Africa. Of course, the OAU, and they weren't happy with it at all. And that's why they supported Kotoka and the NLC to stage a coup. He left the country, and General Kotoka was part of the entourage that escorted him. And within some few days, not even days, he announced, and I read a quote, when a ruler is useless, you depose him. After 1 year, just after 1 year, when Ankara was given the nod to be the chair of the NLC, they couldn't do much. They couldn't even build one university, not to talk of one airport. The airport, which has been named after him, they couldn't build one. So history says that he suggested that running the country hasn't been easy just after 1 year. So Nkrumah has done very well. He suggested to his fellow coup makers and the NLC, he was a staunch member of the NLC. They never agreed that they call Nkrumah back and hand over the country to Nkrumah. They never agreed to it. And before they would realize, some junior military officers and what are their names? Lieutenant Samuel Atta and Lieutenant Moses Yeboah, they have coupled up to overthrow the NLC, but it wasn't successful. Hence, they were sentenced into death. They went to kill them. The two of them, they went to kill them. Now, in all of this, Kotoka has been shot dead close to airport. Reason we have kept his name over there. Listen, we are saying we want more investors in this country. We are saying that Ghana is the gateway to Africa. Put that aside. And the airport is the gateway to Ghana. Now, you have a coup leader, a coup plotter, who liaised with Westerners. First ever in the history of Ghana for military coup, violent military coup to happen in Ghana was led by the person we have christened our gateway to Africa, our gateway to Ghana. He is the person we have christened our gateway. That a monument, the airport. He's the person we have christened. I am saying it's long overdue. We're expecting diplomats, investors, tourists. And we have projected Nkrumah, the man of the millennium, 100 years, the man of the millennium. We have projected Nkrumah to the whole world. Now, if people come to the country because of Nkrumah and they meet the person who did a coup against Nkrumah to welcome them at the airport, what are you saying? What contradiction is this? So you want tourists, you want investors, you want diplomats to come. Yet still, you are glorifying coup makers. So if we have been able to project Nkrumah as the man of the millennium, why do we put an enemy of Nkrumah at the doorstep, the gateway, the entrance? Why do we do that? Family, the name Accra International Airport, the name Accra International Airport resonates with everybody. Of course, Accra is the capital of Ghana. So when you say Accra International Airport, geographically, it's accurate. And historically, when you put history in perspective, like I told you, it is neutral. More because Nkrumah put it there, they came to change it, and after 59 years, we have come to a realization. We want to change it to the name. For me, I would even suggest we put Nkrumah's name there. Kwame Nkrumah International Airport. Yes. We have never said Nkrumah is a superhuman or he did no wrong. That is not what we are saying. That is not. Let the UP and the NLC, the MPP and others know that. Let Afenyomakin also know that. Before he tribalized the issue. That was very shameful. We have Felek Beho, we have Ephraim Amo, we have so many others who have done nationalistic things. Yes, play it for me. That's Afenyomakin. Let me condemn him and the statement he made.
That all these years we've had this Kotoka, General Kotoka's name on the airport, and suddenly it is being changed. What is it? After it's Kotoka International Airport, Accra. So Accra is still there. I'm not suggesting any other name. I'm saying that the name Kotoka International Airport, Accra is already there. Accra is already there. So you don't need to remove Kotoka's name from there. So if you come to Accra or even in the country, how many prominent Voltarians have their names on national assets or national monuments? This is the only thing the people of Volta region can also at least see as something that recognizes heroism from the Volta region. And that one too,
Charlie,
they
let
have
me
been
come.
denied. Well, Honorable Kwame Abuja is from Volta. Honorable Ukujeto Blakwa, he's from Volta and he's sitting in cabinet. Honorable Fifi Kwete is the General Secretary of NDC from Volta region.
Pause him right there. Pause him right there. What are you talking about, sir? What are you saying? Heroism and honoring coup makers. That's quite a shameful, tribalistic comment. That's devilish, if you ask me. Yes. Very, very devilish. We don't need this at this time. And because of this comment, people have started. You know, the NDPC rep for Volta region has issued a public statement indicating that, you see, you tribalize the whole thing. Avenyo, this is not good. We should honor people who pursued coups. Ghana must stop honoring the culture of coup. We say we're against it. And we want to tell the next generation that power must only change hands through the ballot, not the barrel of the gun. Not the barrel of the gun. And we are here celebrating and honoring coup makers and trying to tribalize and trivialize it. Mr. Minority Leader, this is truly uncalled for. It is not to your stature. Trust me. This is bad. I call it devilish. Anyone who tribalizes issues like this, I'll be right to say that. And we are not even putting John Mahamed's name on it or Esiedun Ketie's name on it. So how dare you talk about the only name we have from the Volta region, Kotoka, on a national monument is going to be removed by this? What are you talking about? Why did you change it at the first place? Why did you change it? Why did you change it? It was Accra International Airport. Why did you change it? We are saying we want something that unifies us, not something that reminds us of the coup of Nkrumah. Something that reminds us of somebody putting a gun to kill Kotoka closer to the airport. Of course, we are not saying we want to override or rewrite history. Nobody can do that. Okay, we can do that. And renaming the airport is never, or it's not a denial of Kotoka's existence or role in history at all. It's not. Listen, it is a deliberate choice to stop celebrating military interruptions of civilian rule. Don't forget, Nkrumah was democratically elected. You can show the revulsion, you can show the apprehension, you can demonstrate to let him know you are not happy with it. He will arrest you. People who were putting bomb on school children to bomb Nkrumah, to kill Nkrumah, he's not a human being. He doesn't feel the pain. The Kulungungu and all of that. Who ran away to go and stay in Togo. People wanted to kill and assassinate Nkrumah. So you never wanted him to make rules, laws that will prevent people who want to murder him and kill him. What are you talking about? And because of that, you are detained about it and you depose him. Then you change the name. We will change it today and we'll change it. We support it. I want to take you to, and there's no personalization over here. Nobody should score political point from this. Not NDC, not MPP. And this is not the renaming what the Israel regime did. The renaming that Akufo-Addo did. This is not that type. Because we will police NDC. This very Mahama legacy administration. We will police you. And we'll make sure you do the right thing. Because we can't allow it for somebody to come and the opposition wishing the person or pulling the leg down. Somebody's climbing upstairs and you are pulling the person down. Don't you know it's Ghana you are pulling backwards? That's what you do. NDC in opposition, pulling MPP down. MPP in opposition, pulling NDC down. When would we go for it? So no political point scoring and no personalization. That's why I've condemned that tribalistic comment by the Honorable Afenyo Maken, the minority leader. That's bad. I said it's devilish. Listen to the comment on the streets.
They should change it. They should change it to either Ghana International Airport or Accra International Airport. Because Kotoka he just overthrown Kwame Nkrumah, or he overthrew Kwame Nkrumah, right? So it's better. It's either Kwame Nkrumah International Airport is better. Kotoka the plan B.
What is the history behind Kotoka? The airport being named after Kotoka. I hear he was killed there. That's the story. People want to bring political issues about it and tribal issues. So maybe Accra is in Accra. So they just name it Accra International Airport and then we'll all be free.
Since Accra is the capital city of Ghana, I think the name should be Accra, not Kotoka.
Everybody knows it's Kotoka International Airport. So I don't think if they change it, that will be possible.
If they name it Kwame Nkrumah International Airport, that is good because he was the first president in Ghana. And he was the one who built the airport, not Kotoka. Because they killed him there, that is why they named him Kotoka Airport. So to me, I prefer Kwame Nkrumah Airport, International Airport.
If it is appropriate for it to be changed, I think it should be changed and nothing is wrong with that. Yeah.
I think it's cool if you change it to Ghana International Airport. When everyone is coming into Ghana, they know they are at Ghana International Airport.
I think Kotoka is okay. Everybody called the Kotoka, so even small child have, we don't say Kotoka.
They have to change it to Kwame Nkrumah International Airport. Yes, I think that would be the best.
It's not necessary for them to change it. Yeah, it's been Kotoka for a long time, and the name is cool. Everyone knows Kotoka, so I think Kotoka should be maintained.
It's an individual name anyway. That name has been in existence for quite long. There's nothing wrong with it when we decide to change the name to Accra International Airport, just to sell the name of Accra outside the world.
It's long overdue because from the history of Kotoka and naming Kotoka to our airport, it's not something good because if you know history, so changing it to Accra International Airport is it's a very laudable idea.
Thank you very much. The chameleon changes color to match the earth. The earth never changes color. This has been our production for today, Wednesday, the 4th day of February 2026. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah. This has been NSG's Pulse of the Week on NSG News. Please, thank you so much. Join us on Friday for more. Thank you to my crew and everybody. Have a blessed evening.